Imagine waking up one morning to find that hospitals can't access patient records, banks stop processing payments, and emergency services go silent. At major travel hubs, flights remain grounded as the systems coordinating global movement cease to function. Thousands of passengers are left staring at screens that offer no path forward. This scenario is often dismissed as a Hollywood fiction, yet the events of the last few decades reveal that we have already come dangerously close to a total digital blackout. Our society now operates within a vulnerability vacuum. We rely on a digital infrastructure that was never designed to withstand an era of global cyber warfare, sparking an evolutionary arms race 30 years in the making. In 1988, a graduate student launched the Morris Worm, an experiment intended to measure the size of the internet that unintentionally broke it. This event introduced the world to malware, malicious code designed to travel autonomously between machines, replicate itself, and degrade system performance. The initial shock of the 1988 infection was significant, but as the internet expanded and dial-up gave way to high-speed connections, the warnings of the computer science community went largely unheeded. The Morris Worm proved that a connected world was susceptible to infection. It demonstrated that just a single string of malicious code could effectively bring the entire global network to its knees. By the early 2000s, this fragility was exploited on a massive scale. Viruses like Code Red and SQL Slammer tore through massive corporate systems, crashing hundreds of thousands of servers in a matter of hours. Hackers soon transitioned to building botnets, hijacking thousands of ordinary computers with a single piece of code. Once assembled, this remote-controlled army was used to flood a specific network with more traffic than it could handle, crushing targets on command. The 2014 Sony Pictures hack marked a shift toward targeted destruction. Attackers erased massive amounts of data from the company's servers and leaked confidential information, causing damages that scaled into the tens of millions. This era proved that hackers could organize digital chaos into a tool for highly lucrative extortion and strategic corporate sabotage. In 2010, researchers discovered a piece of code called Stuxnet that successfully bridged the gap between the digital and the physical, targeting Iranian nuclear facilities. Stuxnet utilized zero-day exploits, vulnerabilities in software that are unknown to the developers. Because the flaw is a secret, the creators have 0 days to fix it before an attacker gains entry. Inside the facility, the code manipulated the heavy industrial machinery. It forced massive centrifuges to spin out of control and vibrate to the point of destruction, proving digital weapons could cause real-world mechanical failure. By 2016, the Mirai botnet scaled this concept of hardware exploitation. By hijacking millions of everyday smart devices, like webcams and routers, it executed the Dynattack, which successfully took down vast sections of the internet. These events demonstrated that digital weapons can bypass traditional military defenses, allowing a state to be crippled from within without a single shot being fired. In 2017, the global community faced the peak of digital extortion with the simultaneous arrival of the WannaCry and NotPetya attacks. Both attacks utilized ransomware, a program that encrypts a user's files and locks them out of their own system until a financial payment is made. The impact was measured in human lives and billions in losses. WannaCry froze systems in emergency rooms, forcing hospitals to turn away ambulances, while NotPetya paralyzed the logistics of shipping giants and halted global trade. Cyber warfare had become a siege. These events proved that a few lines of code could freeze the supply chains that provide essential services to millions. The 2020 SolarWinds attack brought these threats to the highest levels of the United States government, breaching internal networks of federal agencies and major corporations. This was a supply chain attack. By poisoning a shared source, in this case a trusted software update, the attackers were able to infect thousands of secondary targets that had no direct connection to the original breach. This method reached a breaking point during the 2021 Colonial Pipeline attack. By compromising the pipeline's management systems, hackers forced a total shutdown of the flow of fuel. The shutdown caused widespread fuel shortages across the East Coast. Panic buying and gridlock at the pumps demonstrated how a single software failure could disrupt the lives of millions of citizens. Individual targets are no longer the priority. By compromising the foundational supply chains, a single breach now has the power to paralyze the infrastructure of an entire nation. Over the last 30 years, cybersecurity has transitioned from a niche technical concern into a primary matter of national security. As our dependency on a connected digital world nears 100%, our exposure to a catastrophic failure increases at that same rate. Global diplomacy and national defense now operate in an environment of constant invisible conflict. We are currently living in a state of perpetual cyber warfare, where thousands of malicious attempts are deflected every day to keep society functioning. The next time a screen goes dark without warning, it marks a failure in a chain of systems we can neither see nor live without.